the heck happened to my webcam frames?
Okay.
Edit. Save.
Get it figured out, man. Get it figured out. Right?
They're there.
They're there?
Well, they're just not loaded. I don't know. That's weird.
It was your webcam frame was working totally fine on the gaming screen.
Yeah, right? I know. Visible properties. Shut down source when not visible. If I turn that off.
Oh, do you shut down your sources when not visible?
Cache.
Oh, I turn that off. All my sources, it's so crazy. All my sources are live when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Like everything is active.
Oh yeah.
No matter what scene I'm on.
Weird. And it was there. Was it not there at the beginning of the stream? I don't know. Something must have happened to it. I'm not worried about it. It is what it is.
As long as you're not worried. As long as you're not worried about it.
The only part that's it's whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and spend 20 minutes trying to figure it out. You know, it can be another time.
Just make up your mind.
Talk show.
Make up your mind.
Let me make up my mind. My mind is made up. Q.
Okay.
Talk shows and podcasts. That's where we are. That's who we are.
No, we're category entertainment.
That's probably more accurate. Let's be real.
YouTube's got it right. YouTube's got it right, man. Category entertainment.
Yeah, I don't fall into any other category besides that. All right, man.
How's your week been?
Live to the YouTube's world.
Yeah, how's your week been?
It's been real good. I mean, I got to build that thing. Now I'm just like, it's sad. Like, I'm happy I have it started, but it's just like now it's really sitting there just not being used.
Everything's crossed. Oh yeah, because you got the AIO mounted already.
Yeah.
Right. So everything is mounted. Yeah. Everything's ready to go, except except what? The GPU? Yeah, the video card. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, I would be like, I don't know. I would. Does Best Buy have a return policy on video cards? No, because it's electronic.
Probably some stuff. And yeah. What, you just want to buy something just to...
I was going to say, just go buy... buy the 2080 Super just to have it and run it, and then wait till the 30... If you get like 30... If you get like a 30-day return window or something like that, and then just return it like 5 times until eventually Best Buy catches on.
Honestly, that may be what ends up happening if I can't get a 3070 tomorrow morning. So, we're crossing our fingers.
3070... Is the 3070 supposed to drop tomorrow?
Yeah, sales go live at least from what I've read, 9 a.m. Eastern. I could be very wrong. I'm gonna double check obviously before I go to bed tonight, so I know when to set an alarm for myself. But I'm crossing my fingers, man. Crossing my fingers.
That's actually pretty cool.
Into the goods. Do you need to do an intro?
Oh no, we're totally fine. We're totally fine. I mean, you know, so I've kind of decided that unless we have a special, so for anybody watching right now, I've kind of decided, you know who I am, you know who Hopper is. We've kind of got this down. We've got enough episodes in the works. If you don't know who I am yet, go back and watch. You're on my YouTube channel right now. You better know who I am. And
we're not doing our job.
If you don't know who I am, you know, then yeah, exactly right. Then what's going on, right? So you know what? Unless we have a guest or something like that, I'm not going to do like a full blown intro anymore. I mean, I will kind of say, you know, how's your week, other stuff like that. You know, what we got going on. So
that's fair.
Last week we talked about this. You were in the bowels of Soma. And this week you are now cranking your way through Amnesia.
Oh my god, dude. Kill me. That game. I had nightmares about it last night. I couldn't sleep. I was like rolling around in bed pretty much all night long, waking up every hour and a half.
When I had your stream pulled up in the living room yesterday,
yeah.
Jamie watched it for like 10 minutes and she was like, "Nope, I can't watch this. I can't watch him play this. I'm done. I can't be doing this." She's like, "I'm going to go in the bedroom and do something else." So it was like, ain't happening.
I should advertise that for my content, you know. Looking for time away from your wife? Watch the Game Hopper live on twitch.tv. These like whatever those weird Reaper like staring into my soul creatures I encountered last night. Those are popping up in my nightmares left and right, man.
You were talking about
obviously
the soul sucker things, whatever they're called.
Yeah, dude. The Dementor style.
Yeah, that's what you were calling them last night. Dementors, right? There you go.
Man. Oh, yeah. It was not pretty. So my Fitbit said I got like a 63 sleep score.
60. I don't know what a good sleep score is.
Real
What's
low.
a good sleep?
100. Oh, 100 is great.
Oh, 100 is a good sleep score. Okay.
Normally I'm like 80. It's like a good, average good night for me.
Okay.
But yeah, not last night. Whew.
It's pretty brutal.
I'm excited for October to be over. Hopefully, I finish that game tomorrow. I think I'm close to the end.
I was gonna say you've got some progress in it, so you should be getting there.
Yeah. And I need to know how the story ends.
For those that haven't seen Hopper playing this for the past it's about 4 or 5 streams you've been playing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
The Hopper has been playing the new release of Amnesia Rebirth.
That is correct. Yeah.
And Tassi, the main character, is traveling between some different worlds and on an expedition, and the whole time she's falling down 50-foot drops with a baby in her belly. So
every chance she gets, she's plummeting through some hole or another. It's horrible.
Dude, I watched you play that. I watched you play it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does he know where he's going? Like, I watch you running around. I watch you running around playing it, and I'm like, he's got to be guessing. He's got to be guessing. And it seems to work 95% of the time. It just ends up going the right way.
Thank God when sheer terror takes over, I somehow have a good instinct to find my way out of wherever I am. So I haven't been stuck in too many things. Even when I thought I'd been lost, I still end up going in the right direction. So
yeah.
Maybe the game's just leading me well, but I'll take the credit for it for now. But,
there's really only one path. It just looks like there's more,
Yeah,
but...
right. Yeah. It's just, the darkness just makes it feel like it's like you have options. Oh, scary game. Though, man.
So it's like browsing the news over the past week, I took a few things, and it's actually going to lead into the question of the week, right? But a couple of news topics that we had go through this week. One thing we'd been talking about in the past is Twitch is now coming with new live interactive shows.
Yeah.
Twitch's Twitch's primo ads, circumventing ad blockers, and
always trying to get any money they can.
Yeah, and an introduction of a new feature called Celebrations for streamers, which is going to be kind of interesting. There is one on there that I didn't link with you earlier today, and there's been a lot of hot topics or ideas about what's going on right now with the political race, right, and everything that's going on in politics.
Oh yeah.
And the big I don't know why everybody, I don't even know what her name is. AOC. I know who she is.
Yeah.
Ocasio or something is her name, right? Or something.
I don't know.
But she did that. She did a Twitch stream playing Among Us with like almost 500K viewers or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like that.
Right?
That is insane. I think it's the is it the biggest?
I think it was near the highest. I think Ninja still has a stream that was. I'll peek while we're
yeah, I want to say they're crediting it as the largest or the highest concurrent viewer count to date. Maybe Ninja's had like the highest total viewers or something like that. I don't know, but I was looking at it and I was like, man, that's even if you don't really do a whole lot, right? Or really pursue the political thing. It's really, really interesting to see something like that to me, because you have Trump has had.
It was for this year, maybe.
Oh, for this year. Okay. So, we've had other individuals, other political individuals have Twitch pages.
Yeah.
But they've all been two generations older than us, right? Like they've all been, political candidates, or it's like a campaign manager that's running an ad or a campaign or running a page on somebody else's behalf or something like that. It's never really been an individual interacting with a community or trying to interact with gamers or actually playing a game, getting on Twitch, what Twitch was not originally for, but getting on Twitch what it's known for, right?
Yeah, they're usually just on with a political agenda rather than just playing a game.
So it's going to be a really, really interesting thing to see. Right now it's too late in the game, right? It's too late in the game. Election week is next week, right? So it's too late in the game. Go vote. By the way, this is my post. This is my statement. If you are watching this at any point in time before November 3rd, 3rd?
I think yeah.
It's the Tuesday.
Obviously, I'm very informed.
Before November 3rd, it's the first Tuesday of November.
Right. Yeah, that sounds right.
If you are watching this before November 3rd, please make sure to go vote if you are registered. If you haven't registered, I think you've already missed the deadline. I'm sorry.
Old enough,
yeah. And if you've already missed the deadline, I'm sorry, but
still get a little bit informed.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to know because then you'll be ready for next time.
I tell this, anybody who complains about the current state of any political thing in the country and they didn't go vote, they have no reason to say anything. So
you just shush.
Yeah, if you voted and you lose, okay, you did your part, you tried, go complain, right? But if you don't even vote, then don't complain.
Duty. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But
it was neat to see.
Yeah, I really think for candidates or politicians like her in the future, that's going to be a huge way to connect with your
the
people.
Generation that they are so disconnected from.
Yeah, that traditionally politicians are disconnected from. I think a lot of people. Yeah. I think the reason she got that following was because people from our age group that are traditionally Democratic, right? She's a Democratic candidate, whatever.
Yeah.
People that are traditionally Democratic really, really like her, right? So she gets a lot of attention from those individuals. So as soon as that popped up, because people follow her on Twitter, people pay attention to what she does, right? So as soon as she posted on Twitter that she was going to be doing that, it was like, boom, it's happening, and everybody was there, right? It was this huge thing.
Yeah.
It was totally spur of the moment, and it was so big, it was crazy. I'm
before she went live.
Yeah, I'm really, really interested to see what is going to happen, because I think she's due to run again. Like, she's due to run in 2 years. 2 more years. Okay.
She's senator, right?
She's a Republican. Or not a Republican. She's a representative. She's a representative.
Okay. I thought so. Okay. Gotcha.
So
I'm not great with politics, to be honest.
Yeah, so
as knowledge of it all.
They're due to vote.
I do my part, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know when the next representative election is, but I'll be really interested to see how that goes into like campaigning or just fundraising and things like that. You're talking about like people are going to be able to do things like that, crowdsourcing in a whole new way for politicians. Instead of getting these huge organizations to be donating a ton of money, you get the people to feel like they're getting invested in it, right? It's a different angle, and it's something that I think that we'll see how that happens. And granted, right,
we'll start to see a lot more of it as time goes on.
And Twitch is totally gonna buy into it, right? Because they get some of that, they get some kickbacks from it anyways. But so that'll be something to keep an eye on come next election period. That'll be kind of fun to see and see how they leverage that. Next thing I had on the list was, we talked about this months ago when we were talking about G4 coming back. And that other TV, what was it? That other TV thing that never, Vibe or something? Ven. Is that what it was?
Ven?
The Ven or something like that was coming back or launching, right? With these new TV shows and stuff like that, coming to basically have a not a streaming service, but have a channel dedicated around the gaming culture once again on like cable television or something. Well, Complex announced today. Now, Complex is not strictly gaming content, but Complex announced today that they are partnering with Twitch in order to have interactive live, or it was yesterday, I think the article came out, but Complex is going to have interactive live television shows. So they will be able to connect with viewers, and viewers will have an opportunity to basically like help direct the content that's being done on the show. I think they said one of the first things is a guy that traditionally does like live television shows or streams per se, right? He does live television content.
Yeah.
Where he like airbrushes hats and t-shirts and stuff like that. And basically what's going to happen is the community will be able to participate and like help pick designs and, you know, do different things like that. They'll get to engage in that. Now, I don't think that this is going to be a scenario where, at least from what I was reading, I don't think there's going to be a scenario where it's going to be like subscribe to Complex, right? Like it's not going to be a Twitch channel. It's not going to be twitch.tv/Complex, right? It's a partnership where Twitch is going to host the service, promote the service, and have an ability to connect to it, right, somehow. And they're going to get revenue, basically just to use Twitch's, what do they call it? RTMP or whatever, their throughput, right? Which is it's interesting. I mean, that's one of those things that we've kind of talked that
very interesting. Yeah.
In the future, I really think cable TV is going to go this route. Like we already see, there's Facebook live streams of news channels, and there's different things like that, right? Where like, you know, you have your reporter literally goes out to where they're going, right? And they pull up their phone and they're like, hey, live from the scene, instead of doing like this full broadcast dude with a camera anymore, right? It's so much easier, to, you know, it's easier to get in and out, less equipment cost, all this other kind of stuff. And these shows have the ability to feel like they're connecting with their community a little better. So I really think, again, this is going to be a move forward, and there's already a lot of talks about, you know, like live streaming television being a big part of the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can both agree that cable television, I already think this is dead. It's on its way out. There's no future in like just regularly scheduled cable package TV stuff. It's most of the successful shows we still see these days, outside of some HBO things. You know, it's the Netflix, it's the Hulu, it's the Amazon Prime. Because again, number one, the ability to watch it whenever you want is fantastic. People like to have freedom of that kind of choice in their lives, and cable just, I don't know, it just seems like they don't try as hard. Maybe the money's not there. I don't know what it is, but you don't see the big cable TV primetime shows being as successful as they used to be in the past.
Yeah, and another thing I think would be interesting, because like shows have been doing it for a long time, where you've done like what's the big singing one?
American Idol.
There you go. American Idol was what I was thinking of. American Idol was what I was thinking of. Where like you phone in or text in your vote, all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. If you had an opportunity to pull up a stream and there's a little widget on your screen that just said click, right? Yeah. And you get to register your account, all this other kind of stuff, right? You'd have an ability to have a way to, you know,
polls just pop up. That's easy,
right? It would be super simple in that way. You know, you wouldn't have to worry about having not having service, but I mean, like the ability to do things like that. You know, and more and more people are watching content digitally. You know, either through your phone or on like, you know, on Android TV, like we were talking about earlier this week, right? Android TV's out. Right, all these other things like that, where it's just becoming more interactive. So if I can click while I'm watching, why not, right? Like, I'm more likely to click on something on my screen than I am to pull my phone out and text a number, right? That's just me, right? I know obviously a ton of people who are really, really engaged in stuff like that.
People are committed to it, yeah.
But if you have people, if you can get that many more people who are touching it because you have it in an interactive way, then that would work, right?
Yeah. The way you said that was hilarious.
Touching things.
So many more people touching it.
Touching things in interactive ways, right?
Oh man. Yeah, and streaming, it's again, it doesn't really have to mean things change much. It's really just the platform in which the media is delivered to the people.
Right.
Which, you know,
yeah,
makes sense. Cable TV's been the same for how long now? You know.
Gosh. Yeah. Yeah, cable TV's just been a flat thing for so long. You're totally right. It's due for something here soon. It's just not been changed in forever. So next thing I would say is, so streamers, the title is Streamers Slam Twitch Over New Celebrations Feature. Right? And there's a little bit more.
Such a horrible idea.
So, is it though? Is it? So here's my thought. One right. so far on the beta side, right? On the beta side of it, because apparently this is rolled out to a few people for testing purposes. Yeah. On the beta side of it, apparently it's optional. You can opt in or out, right? So you have to turn it on to enable it. And Twitch is getting really, really sneaky. So for those that are listening, to explain kind of what this is, Twitch is providing basically a donation button. Traditionally, you've had two ways connected to Twitch to there's three ways. There's three ways to support a content creator. You can follow, which is your free option as long as you have an account. You can drop bits, which are basically pennies on a dollar. Realistically, like one bit is it's microcurrency on Twitch, and then you have
the viewer a little bit more to purchase. But.
And then you have subscriptions, which are your other method of getting basically supporting a subscriber on a month-to-month basis. And then you have multiple tiers of subscriptions, etc. Right? So Twitch is talking about adding in to traditionally to do bits. It was down in the chat box. Subscriptions was up at the top or on the side of the actual player window, so that way it was kind of separated. You weren't accidentally getting them mixed or anything like that. But with this new celebrations feature, they're talking about having the celebrations button right between the follow button and the subscribe button. And yeah, I mean, which is okay. I mean, it's placement is whatever, but for people that aren't used to it, they could accidentally celebrate and not subscribe, not get the emails, whatever. But and they're putting
the viewers any credit. I think they can read.
Well, I don't know what it's going to look like. It could just be a little megaphone with some confetti flying out of it or something. Yeah, I have no idea, right? But then there's the right, and the price point they're putting at, from what I read in the article, the price point is going to be selectable, but the lowest price point is going to be right between. It's going to be like half the price of a subscription, right? Which is kind of what they're trying to do, right? It's that we talked about. You were talking about this a little bit earlier. It's whereas if you give them a taste of it, they might buy in a little more, right? So they bought bits. Now they want to do just a little bit more. They want to do a little bit more, right? So they'll do that $2.50 instead of that $1 thing, right? And just drop the celebrations as they're calling them.
Yeah.
But the biggest complaint is traditionally today, when you get a donation, when a content creator gets a donation, it's done through a third-party service. PayPal. Yep. If you go through Streamlabs,
Streamlabs is PayPal as well. It's
right.
Connected on a different end.
Right, but Streamlabs takes I believe Streamlabs takes a very small cut. Like it's like not even 1% or something like that. Stream Elements takes a really small cut because they're managing the transaction and they're managing the alert and other kinds of stuff like that, right? They streamline it a little bit for you. It all goes into their overhead. Like it just makes it a little easier. So they take a real small cut, and it might even be it's typically less than whatever a PayPal transaction is, right? I know on a personal account PayPal is typically free, but they do take a really small cut there. But Twitch is talking about taking, their traditional 50% cut. Right, which is
why it's such a bad idea, Q.
It's huge. Like that's huge when you think about it.
Considering for a lot of these big streamers and stuff out there, where more of the money they're getting is not from the subscription, it's from those donations. So if you're saying like, hey, we're gonna give a new opportunity for people to donate to you, but we're gonna take half of that. That's half of that's oh my god. I mean, obviously you can see why people are in an uproar about it, and that's why I think it's a bad idea, because it's just Twitch trying to get their hand in the cookie jar even more. Yeah. I mean, it makes it makes sense to streamline here's my thought. It makes sense to streamline the feature. Right, because you also get to do it's like got some kind of built-in on-screen alert that you can't traditionally get. For sure.
Other things like that, like there's engagement involved with it, and there's other things that you can do. There's other things that it can do because it's built straight into Twitch, but yes, that traditional 50%, and well, it's not even the traditional 50%, it's having it as at a fixed rate. Because like I said, from what I understand, it's a fixed rate thing. Like it's not like you can pick, you can just type in a value, right? What I read today is it's a set value, or you have to, maybe you can pick multiple values. I don't know what they are, right? I haven't seen it. I haven't touched it, but from what I was reading today, I just saw at least one set value there.
Yeah.
And it
Am I correct, too, that it's the same partner affiliate, too? Like, there's no difference in split there?
I don't believe there is. At least not today, right? They haven't rolled it out to the public yet, so there might be something coming down the line, but at least out front, there is nothing separating the dividend difference for partners and affiliates.
That's bold, man. That's really bold. On Twitch's behalf.
Yeah, I don't think they'll. Yeah, I think the majority of people will turn it off. Where I think you'll see it is, I know a few people who don't have PayPal accounts or don't have.
I'm sorry.
I'm just loud. Oh, sorry. I can turn down a little bit if I need to.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
There are a few people that don't have PayPal accounts.
Yep.
So that's where you end up into that weird situation where. What do this could help them, and maybe those are the people that are asking for this. You know what I mean? Maybe those are the individuals that are like, hey, we need something. I personally know one streamer who a while back got his PayPal account hacked, and then the account was caught for fraudulent activities. It got banned, so now he is no longer allowed to have a PayPal account. So like 100% of his revenue has to come through bits or subscriptions, right? Like he doesn't have that donation option anymore. He used to, right? And he lost a big revenue stream.
I feel like that's obviously a very rare exception, though, as far as. And I guess too, you think the same end as far as like a viewer being able to sign up for a PayPal account to be able to donate this and that, but it wouldn't be any different for them. Like if they obviously are going to have to still input some sort of bank or credit card information through Twitch to be able to just click the celebration button and send money to people.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, but if somebody doesn't have a PayPal, that's a good one too. Yeah. The other one would be, right, I didn't have an active, I had a PayPal account, but it was not active until I started streaming or until I started getting more engaged in Twitch, right? Until I started actually using it, it wasn't active at all. So I think that's
one from like eBay nonsense back in the day. I used to buy and sell stuff. And then I don't know what else I used PayPal for, but I've had one for a long time. I guess too, it's the celebrations thing is potentially, are my lights like really freaking out on me a little bit? Seems like it. It's another avenue for the Twitch gift cards that they launched.
That's exactly. I was actually, so there were two things. There were two things I was thinking about there. I was thinking if you're an underage streamer, right? Say you're only 13, 14, 15 years old, right? And you're not going to have a PayPal account, right? Maybe that's a solution there, right? And then the other option could be, just like you said, it's a way to leverage the utilization more of the Twitch gift cards, which they might be having problems with right now. Because
maybe they're just not getting used enough.
Yeah, it's such an odd. Last time, because I thought about doing Twitch gift cards, because I do meme review Thursday, right, when I'm streaming, and I thought about doing Twitch gift cards.
Be a prize.
Yeah, as being a prize, but I realized that it's the minimum buy on a Twitch gift card right now is like $25. It's $25 or something like that, which.
Damn, really? I guess it's a gift card that makes sense, but
it's hard to justify that for something really, really, really simple, right? Like if you're just doing like typically my giveaway value is like $5 every week, right? Like it's a small thing. Yeah. If it got big enough, sure, $25 would be no problem, and then I'm reinvesting that back into Twitch. I'm giving it out, right? I'm kind of allowing somebody to make up their mind, because I was giving out gifted subs and I was doing some other things trying to make that just around that $5 price range, right? And I told myself, I was like, you know what, giving somebody a Twitch gift card would let them distribute that wherever they wanted to. They could buy bits, they could sub to somebody else, they could do whatever they wanted with it. But then I saw $25 and I was like, I can't do that every week. That's a little much. But you know,
to your high roller status.
Yeah, not until
living the good life.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I haven't heard of anybody yet, and I'm sure there are. I'm sure they're out there, right? I mean, my community is still small. You know, those that I engage with is not.
We're growing.
Those that I engage with are not in the thousands. I'm just saying, like, I'm not in this group of thousands of people. To kind of say, are the Twitch gift cards really getting leveraged or not? Are people actually buying them and using them? I'm sure they're out there, but.
I mean, I haven't heard anybody purchasing, using, but it seems to me like with some sort of online, again, it's online currency, however you want to spin it at the end of the day. You're spending money to get, Twitch bucks, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like there shouldn't be value set. Like, if you want to get $5, get $5. If you want to get 10, get 10. Like, it's weird to me that they sell it in incremental values. Because they're all just digital gift cards, right? It's not like a physical thing.
No, it's just a digital one, which again, that's why it's weird. Like, you should be able to buy somebody a $5.99 or whatever it costs it for a subscription right now, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but that's another one. Celebrations. Looking forward to it coming in the future as we decide whether or not we're going to leverage any of that ourselves. I mean, honestly, currency is currency. Money is money. If somebody wants to use it, that's on them.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I personally wouldn't recommend it, but if somebody decides they feel like they want to do it, then let them do it, and help out the content creator that they want to help out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, and I like the idea of using it as like a giveaway type of thing too, because it does, like, as far as streamer goes, I shouldn't say forcing the viewer, but it gives them the opportunity to reinvest in you as the streamer who they're watching or somebody else. And anyway, we can kind of give back to the community we're a part of as a win. So,
yep. So
$5 Twitch, come on, give us the option.
Yeah, no, $6. That's what I want. I want a $6 one. I want a $6 gift card.
Better. Fuck $5, $6 is the way to go.
$6. They can keep the penny on the gift card after they sub. I don't care about that.
That's true. I didn't think about the fact that the sub's more than $5 after tax. Oh, I like it.
So last thing I have to talk about, and then we can. This kind of ties into.
We should just say
what
they can get away with the celebration thing if it's like a 5% cut.
I
wouldn't
have to
somehow match PayPal, third party, whatever it may be.
I think PayPal is 3 on a business transaction.
Okay. Yeah. But like, again, getting closer to that value gives it more credibility than, hey, here you can donate through us. 50% is just shooting.
That's more than Google. That's more than Google. I mean, Google's 30.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Way too high. All right, now we can move on. I just had to get that out there.
So I would say that, and this kind of goes into the question of the week. The last topic came up. It was Twitch has redesigned their advertising system to circumvent ad blocker services. So
Twitch added again.
To my understanding, this new system now, there is no current ad blocker there is no current ad blocker that will work with this new Twitch configuration. Or I don't necessarily know
on
how
its own. I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard you can combine ad blocker sources and
whatever.
Get like a Megazord ad blocker.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Use 4 or 5 of them and circumvent it all. But
so like, I'm gonna quote a tweet, and normally I wouldn't call the person out, but he's directly listed in the article, so I don't really care if you read the article. Then you're gonna have the opportunity to check the tweet out anyways. From Dat1 Nice Guy, DAT, Dat1 Nice Guy. Kind of sad. I have to use 5 different ad block tools just for Twitch itself. I want to support all amazing streamers out there, but I just can't handle this annoyance with ads. So let me hear your take on this, Hopper. I want to kind of feel what you're thinking.
Oh, let me me prepare myself. So, I will say, obviously, as the position we're in, we don't get revenue from pre-roll, things like that, like the bigger partners do. But, you know, at the end of the day, suffering through a 20, 30-second ad, whatever it may be, it shouldn't be that big a deal to people. Like, I know it's inconvenient to people. I know they don't like it. I know it's content they don't care about. But at the end of the day, is that 30 seconds really going to kill you? Like, to say it's such an inconvenience to make it sound like it's really some huge deal. It's not, man. It's 30 seconds of your life. Walk up, get a snack, get a drink, go to the bathroom, come back. Like, I don't know. I think people blow it out of proportions, personally.
So the big question. So it's not even the pre-rolls right now; it's the mid-rolls that I think people are complaining about the most, right? Because they're the ones that roll right out, and like it's during that epic play, blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm like,
didn't they turn those off?
So they're not. I don't know. They might be coming back. To my understanding, they turned them off, but.
Yeah,
I don't
still
the forced ones, but the content creator can still choose to run an ad, right? And
doing that prevents mid rolls, right?
No,
if you roll your own, you have like a 30-minute window where
if you roll your own, it prevents pre rolls. So there's no advertisements. If you roll your own, there's no advertisements at all during your stream. Right, so people can going, whatever, right? And again, subscribers never get ads.
Yeah.
So this was my take on it, and
that's true. Yeah.
This is my take on it because that one nice guy's out here saying, right, here's my thought. That one nice guy, he's not a very nice guy to me because
right?
He says and again I'm quoting him. I want to support all amazing streamers out there, but I can't handle this annoyance with ads. Well, two things are happening. If you're getting an advertisement, you're not subscribed to the channel, so you're not supporting him financially.
Yep.
Number two is happening, which is totally fine. If you can't subscribe, you can't subscribe. I'm not advocating you must subscribe to a content creator. That's not what I'm trying to say. But the second thing you got to say is that suck it up and watch the ad because the content creator's getting revenue from the ad.
Right.
If you want to support him, you'll watch every ad he ever puts up there.
Right? Yeah, you'll encourage 5-minute ads just to get the guy some money.
If you're really out there to support the content creator, you're gonna suck it up, and you're right. You're gonna watch every second of that advertisement, and you are gonna stare at the monitor, and they're gonna know your eyeballs were on it, and they're gonna get like 9 cents per view or something like that. I mean, like you gotta think about it from that perspective. Like when I first read it, I was like, crap, they're changing it. We're going to get ads again, blah, blah, blah. And I thought the same thing you did. I'm like, we're talking 20 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe 90, right? Maybe 90, right? Even at 90.
Hulu level ads right there.
Yeah. Even at 90, I'm like, subscribe to the channel. Like, if it really irritates you that bad, subscribe,
right?
or the content creator and Twitch, right? Because Twitch is providing a service for free. You don't even have to sign up to watch. Like, you don't even need an account to watch. Twitch has got to make some revenue somewhere.
Yeah. And again, supporting Twitch, even at the end of the day, is a very far reach, but it's still supporting the content creator as well. So, suck it up. I'm with you. Suck it up. Right though, is it? I don't know. I hate the. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna call them crybabies, complaining about little things like that. That just. Like, if that's the worst part of your day right now, there's a lot more people out there with worse issues than you, so you can keep that shit to yourself. Jeez. Man, I can't handle these ads on this Twitch stream I watch.
Dude, YouTube. Oof. Well, we talked about YouTube. I think we talked about YouTube last week. Yeah. Last week we talked a little bit. If you don't have YouTube Red right now, or YouTube TV, or whatever it is, right?
Premium, whatever they call it.
Yeah, if you don't have that, it gets insane. Like, it's literally every other video is an advertisement now. Like, it's not like one every half hour of watching YouTube videos. It's like you watch a 3-minute video, you get a 1.5-minute advertisement in between it and the next one. I'm like, what is going on here? You know, I put YouTube Music on the TV right? The other day, I put YouTube Music up on the TV, just let it run, letting it play, and I realized I was like, that's a whole lot of beer advertising going on over there. Like, that's all it is, right? You're listening to music. For some reason, when you're listening to music videos, they like somehow know that you want to listen, that you want beer advertising. For some resion, I don't know what it is. It's just like
that's just Google targeted ads towards you, Q. Google knows you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It is kind of crazy how, like, I feel like at this point too, with how much and how long I've been using Google, as far as the targeted ads, I think they know me better than I know myself. Google does not miss. Even on my phone, you know, like you have like the side screen for, you know, your daily news. It's like that's literally all I read because it just knows all my points. There's no bad article anymore. It's amazing. It really is. So well done, Google. Good job.
That's
you know your market.
They have studied their market. They have taken all of your information.
Can you imagine what their data looks like?
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the class action? Is it a class action? The lawsuit
the one against Google from the US?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really dive into it too much because I just kind of, I don't know.
So this one here, apparently it's got a lot to do with the fact that Google is the default search engine on so many devices. PCs, everything that's
anti-competitive abuse is what they're calling it.
And I'm like, I mean, this is one of those really weird free market things that I'm like, Google has done their job, right? Like, it is the best search engine out there. Like, I can't stand Bing. I hate it.
Oh my God.
And they're quoting it in this article. They're like, oh, well, it's anti-competitive to Bing and all these other people. And I'm like, why? Because Bing is bad. There's no competition involved. It's in another league. Like Google is AAA and Bing is like down in the sea level. Like it doesn't even get there.
It's an indie game that hasn't reached market yet. Like, and what? Ask Jeeves was one of the ones back in the day. Do you remember the Ask Jeeves?
Ask
days?
Jeeves when you get
like that makes me sound old.
But the benefit of Ask Jeeves is before Google got better with their search terms, right? Because before you couldn't ask Google a question, right? It had to be very like directed terms. And Ask Jeeves basically ran that market. It was the first search engine. You could literally ask it a question and it would take the words and. Because you would ask Google, I remember back in the day, you would ask Google a question, like you would type the question in, and it would like search for the question, right? It wouldn't know to cut out the words that weren't relevant.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is the, right? It would just, it would search the whole thing, and it would be finding all kinds of articles that are what, right? And all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's not really what I wanted.
Yeah, you just get some vague nonsense in return.
Yeah, and Ask Jeeves kind of did that one. The other one that's really big right now, what's the other, it's like it's not really big.
I don't even dive outside of it.
It's actually DuckDuckGo.
Ah, okay. I have heard DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo apparently is the most private one.
Yeah, because they don't keep track of any of your previous searches.
Yeah, apparently it's like super private, which is interesting, right? It's no cookies, no nothing. Right. It's literally just a search.
Yeah.
No targeting, no nothing, right? It's and I was like, that's
interesting.
It's a cool idea, right?
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's more of a niche market, though. You know,
it's for people that don't
like when like.
It's for people who don't want their searches to be known, right? Like
it's people who are probably looking up some real sketchy stuff online. Which, let's be real, there's a lot of those out there, but I like that Google will fill in, you know, especially previous searches I've had, or sometimes I forget what I looked up the other day, and I know I'll be like, oh, I know it started with this, and I can type it, and it shows my previous, and it's like, that's the one.
So one cool fact I found out from reading from the suit or reading the whole thing going on, right, was the iPhone or the Apple feature that's going on in there, where apparently Google pays a ton of money to Apple.
Yeah.
To have Google search as the default search engine for their devices. Apparently it's a huge thing, and that's kind of where they're talking, where because Android devices, basically Android and iPhone, right, the two biggest, realistically, like when we're talking about it, realistically the only phones on the market, right? Everybody's got one. Google is now the default search, you know what I mean, on all those devices. I would say is it safe to say that there are more mobile phones than PCs? Is it safe to say that yet?
Yeah, just because again, I don't know what the percentage would be of how many people have a cell phone, but I know you can sit there and count computers that are inside people's buildings and workplaces.
I'm trying
to like personal phone. Comparison. Hands down, cell phones probably, I don't know, at least 10, 20 fold if I had to calculate.
So can you even change the default search engine on an Android device?
Yeah, I believe if you wanted to.
I don't know.
I've never bothered to try.
I've never tried it either. I've got mine.
I've owned a Google Pixel specific phone now, so I feel like I'm cheating on it if I try to use something other than Google.
Yeah, I love
the Google world. So
because I don't know that the assistant would work if it wasn't searching, if it wasn't leveraging Google. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
True. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know that you can change the default search engine on. I mean, I'm sure you can change you can change the homepage of the Android or Chrome for Android, right? You can change the homepage, but I don't believe you could change when you go up to the.
I think there is. Yeah, so, I think we're getting negative on Android default. Only one option.
Right, and so is it the same for iPhone too? Does Siri leverage Google searches? I don't know.
You probably have the option to do both. Again, I'm very anti-iPhone.
What do you mean the option to do both?
To do either the Google search or whatever their Siri search default Oracle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. It is.
Yeah.
Google right now. That's the whole thing, right? Like Google is the default search engine on there now.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like, and again, this is going to sound bad, but it's because I'm an Android guy. I feel like Apple should be paying Google for that option. I feel like the iPhone would not be as good if it didn't have Google search options available to the iPhone users. And again, I know he said that the iPhone and Android are the two biggest market shares. Don't get that confused, people, and think that they're close. It is not. Android has a much bigger market share than iPhone. Again, that's just because it's so much easily affordable. And just more access around the world.
So talking about that though,
like 70-something% to like 18.
Yeah, but you have to ask the question: is how many developers are still building phones on old operating systems?
Yeah, I
mean that to me. So that to me, if I were to make a claim about why, one thing that I do like about iPhone more than Android is the fact that they require developers to use the latest version, and like basically when it's time to update, here you go, every device from whatever generation on gets the update. Like every device is designed to get that update, right? It's not an option. Well, I mean, it is an option to upgrade, but you have the option to upgrade when it's rolled out, right? There's so many phones here today where it's just like, this phone on Verizon didn't get the upgrade, but it on AT&T, the same exact model, got it. And then this one, like everybody has their own option. And that's the one thing about Android that I don't necessarily like, but I get it because it's open source, right? It's open, right? You have the ability because AT&T builds their own apps, Verizon builds their own apps, whereas iPhone, they don't do that, right? Like it's all approved by the
closed-end system. Yeah.
Right. It's all approved by.
So I'm getting confirmed from an Apple advisor himself. Siri just uses a default search engine, so that it doesn't use Google.
It does not use Google.
Can confirm. Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever default, whatever that means as far as the Apple world.
I'll have to look that up and confirm.
All I know is every time I hear people use Siri and they ask it a question, it's like, here are some images from the internet.
My favorite is when they're like,
great.
My favorite is personally, call me old fashioned.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people do, but
yeah.
I don't hit my phone and I'm like, Siri, call somebody. Like I open up my phone, I go to contacts, I look up their name, and then I call them, right? Like I don't and I hate it. I shouldn't say I hate it. I shouldn't say I hate it. But it's one of those things for me, like when somebody is like, call so and so, right? And it puts it on speakerphone and they're like walking around with their phone on speakerphone, either in a public place or, even in a house.
God,
even in a house with company, right? And they're walking around on speakerphone. I'm like,
my dad does that.
I'm like, I get it.
God.
I was like, I get it if you're doing something, right? Like if you're like, if you're like, hey Joe, I'm laying under my car right now installing a transmission. What do you need? Like speakerphone totally makes sense at that point, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
But what are you doing when you're on speakerphone? Oh, and I can't stand. Don't even get me started on FaceTime and all that kind of stuff. When like people are FaceTiming in public, that to me just, I'm like, what are you doing? Have a regular conversation. Like, why do you need?
Yeah, especially when like they're doing it and they're not even looking at the phone. So like you're not even looking at the person you're FaceTiming with. Why do they need to see your face looking at something else? No. And the other thing too with the speakerphone thing, because again my father does it and it bugs the crap out of me. Like you're an audio guy, so you understand this as well. The audio quality is not as good when you're on
garbage.
speakerphone.
It's absolutely garbage.
So it's you're doing a disservice to the person you're on the phone with by talking through your speakerphone when you can easily just go from this to this, and it's not an inconvenience to you. Do it, please. Take your shit off speakerphone. Nobody needs to hear your conversation.
Like I would rather listen. I would probably well, I shouldn't say that because it's probably a false statement.
I want to hear.
I was gonna say I would probably rather listen to somebody on like a $20 Bluetooth earpiece than I would speakerphone. But some of those Bluetooth earpieces pick up every single. Like some of those things are way too sensitive.
Yeah.
I've been talking to people and I'm like, are you mowing your yard? And they're like, no, my neighbor 3 streets over is. I'm like, holy cow. And it's like all you can hear as they're just standing there. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I was like, God
forbid, like an emergency vehicle goes by while you're going with them and that's all you hear is the sirens just like screaming through your headset. Whew. Oh God, man. Etiquette. It's just simple etiquette, guys. Learn it, please.
That's what it turns out to be. Yeah. Phone etiquette is very, very important.
God. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not alone on that. The FaceTime thing. Oh man, it's just I want to laugh at people when they're just like this and they're just looking around. Why are you on FaceTime?
I have to say my son is very, very bad about it. He zooms with his buddy
while he's young.
I tell him, I'm like, what are you doing? He zooms with his buddy.
Yeah.
So they can both stare at their Switches and play. They're not playing together. They're both playing separate games. But they're on Zoom.
They're both just basically streaming to one person.
Like, you can't even see it on the screen. They're holding their Switches and they're looking down. Like the camera's looking at both their foreheads. I go over there and I watch. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm talking to Isaiah. And I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
It's like you're playing.
They just want to feel like they're near each other, man. Like
I mean,
yeah.
I get it to an extent. That's why I let him do it, right? Like I get it to an extent, but I'm like, come on, man.
To me, that's the level of like the 2 people sitting in the same room, one on one couch, one on the other, and they're texting each other instead of like talking in person.
Oh, that drives me. That drives me absolutely insane. I have seen that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or that's like I've been over to people's houses. One time I went over to. I did it one time. I shouldn't say I've been to. I've gone one time.
Yeah.
To somebody's house for like a watch party of a TV show.
Okay.
Not even a show I watch or anything like that, but it was like.
I was gonna say, what show was it?
If recollection is right, I'm gonna say it was like The Bachelor or something like that. If recollection is right, but God. I mean,
I regret asking.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyway, I was there for other reasons. I wasn't there to watch the show, right?
Ooh.
No, it was
free beer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's usually what it is. Yeah. Oh, there'll be beer on there. I don't care what we're watching. I can make it a drinking game.
Have you seen that new football commercial?
Yeah. Oh,
what game is on? What game is on?
Yeah.
Nobody knows, right? And they clink beers and they just sit.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, continue the story, right? We were sitting there and like people would watch the show, and then as soon as the show would like go to commercial, everybody down to their phones, tweeting.
That's the world we live in,
tweeting, texting. Like there was like 12 people in this room, and I'm like,
yeah. Nobody's talking to each other. It's just silence.
I'm like, what are we doing right now? And I was like, I went the one time and I was like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, especially if they're just giving out like Bud Light or something.
It's not worth it.
Stay at home.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It is. It's like as great as cell phones have been, it also just takes away a lot of the social interaction we used to get. And again, we use it, it's your public transportation, whatever it may be. Instead of having to like awkwardly sit in silence with people, it's just facing your cell phone. So it's like it's medicinal almost.
It's like a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? Yeah. It's one of those things like traveling on air, traveling on airfare a lot, right? Or I guess flying a lot. I was trying to think of a really fancy. Sure, I was trying to think of a fancy way to say that, but
trying to make it sound smart.
Yeah. A lot of airlines have, entertainment systems built in or connectivity systems built in or something like that. And you get accustomed to it. You get used to it. You enjoy it. Like you participate in it.
Yeah.
And then you get that one plane that doesn't have it. And you're like,
yeah,
what do I do?
Stare at the back of that seat.
I was like, do I have to actually talk to this old lady next to me?
Yeah.
She's going to tell me about her grandson and 7 cats. Like, what do I do the whole time?
You already know where the conversation's going. It's just...
I'm like...
Tablet, man.
I'm like,
I have a tablet.
All of a sudden, I'm really tired. I'm just going to... I'm just going to lay down.
Loud yawn so they know. Like, all right, man, this guy's going to be resting on this flight. I should leave him be.
No, I take my jacket off. I take my jacket off and just throw it over my face. I'm like, I'm done.
There you go. It does seem like we try to... We do whatever we can sometimes to avoid social interaction, and cell phones are a good tool for that. Not me. I like to talk.
You've seen like it when we went out to play pool and stuff like that. Like it.
We gotta do that again sometime.
I have my my situations. As soon as I feel comfortable, I'm like, hey, I become a butterfly. Jamie hates it when I turn into that. But
see, though, I like it too, especially in certain scenarios where you're never going to see that person again. Like,
then it just gets.
I'll start spinning like the wildest life story. Like I can be whoever I want to be. It doesn't matter. They're not going to fact check me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they're gonna look you up on Facebook about a week later.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I met this amazing person. Yeah. And they're gonna be looking up this fake name that you got him in there. Like, he must not have a Facebook profile. That must be another one of him.
Yeah. Oh man. Gotta love it. Oh, all right. Any other points this evening?
That is all from me tonight. Short and sweet. Yeah, keep us right at an hour if you want to open it up for community question time. If anybody has anything that wants to ask, or
sure. Reach out.
We'll give it. We'll give it about.
The only other news, which again it's not a lot to talk about, is just Big Navi, obviously.
Ooh, yes, big.
Well. We can talk more when we get specs, like actual specs from people reviewing it, because obviously we got way too hyped about NVIDIA with their proclaimed benchmarks, and then obviously saw the real-world performance. It was still great, but obviously it was not as insane as they promised. So we'll have to wait and see. Price points looked good, though.
I really wonder if... Because they did that one test, right? They did that one test where they sat everybody down and played, 8K at 60 frames or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Was that on? That was on a 3900.
Yep.
Was that the 30? Was that the 20 gig card though?
Yeah,
that we never got.
The 3900 is the.
It's 10.
Or 3090. Sorry, the 3090 is 20. Yeah. 24 gigabyte.
The current 3090 that is out is 24 gigs. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought they didn't release that card.
No, they did. Yeah, there's plans for a 20 gig 3080 and a 16 3070, but that hasn't happened yet. Which those are both just double the stock. versions. So,
which I mean, we've had
canceled, potentially postponed. Who knows? We'll see what kind of TIs, supers, whatever it may be, come out down the road.
Right, and we've had
iterations. So.
We've had discussions in the past where the VRAM isn't VRAM typically isn't the bottleneck. It's the clock speed and the memory speed and clock speed, core clock and memory speed. There you go. Yeah. Those are the terms I'm trying to think of.
Right. There's too many these days to follow. But it should be interesting.
Big Navi will be fun. We'll have to talk more about that when it starts coming around.
Yeah, we have more info. I'm still getting an NVIDIA card though.
I probably will be too.
Can't sway me.
Probably will be too. You Intel, NVIDIA
broadcast and stuff. It's just it's too enticing as a content creator still.
I don't. I have not been so. I would have to see somebody that I know try to use NVIDIA broadcast. Because the people that I've seen use it, it looks like dookie, man.
Yeah, they're not doing it right.
I don't know if they're not doing it right. I don't know if it's a lighting issue. I don't know if it's a space issue. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But it just seems like it just doesn't do. Like when you're trying to do like the full green screening, there's still too much blur. There's still too much cutout. I mean, if you had like a really tiny camera, it probably wouldn't be as noticeable. Like if you had it super blown up on screen, it would probably get in the way. But the few videos I saw about it, I was like, this is not doing it for me.
And obviously too, again, it's still early. Obviously we'll get some updates, I think, to that kind of stuff along the lines. So along the line, not lines.
Along the way.
I like the idea. Yeah, along the way, along the line. That like line that everybody just walks on, apparently.
Walk the line?
Yeah. But
okay, Johnny.
I mean, I don't know. I want to see what kind of interesting things I can do with it. I'd like more ability to mess around with it, choose specific spots on your screen to be able to green screen something. Because, we talked about, put something on the wall if you want or whatever it may be. So
right.
I have hopes that you'll be able to do that at some point rather than just capture the person. I don't know. We'll see.
Last time I tried to do it, I think last time I tried to do it with software, right?
Yeah.
It didn't, it didn't take the desk out.
Ah, okay.
So it cut out and then it left the desk because the desk was far enough in front of me. Because I mean, I have a wider camera angle than a lot of people use, right? A lot of people are much closer,
Even that 930.
Well, I mean, even when I had the 920, it was still fairly wide, right? But I think that a lot of people that have much closer cameras, and it's much like the one you're using now for the podcast, right? It's a much closer view.
Yeah.
It's much easier for the software to say, okay, here's the foreground, here's the background, whereas mine's a lot more. And so it had a really hard time defining where the desk was, and it basically couldn't cut the desk out at all. It was kind of interesting. It was a little weird, but I need to retry it. I need to retry my digital green screen. I need to retry my digital green screen since I moved that black. So since I moved that black tower behind me. Because before the black tower would come up in the screen. Capturing. Yeah. Now it might not. That would be kind of interesting to see. I might try that again sometime.
I got a question.
Got a question.
Do we as content creators hire out for elements from our stream, or did we do everything ourselves? Do you want to tackle that first?
So the only thing, personally myself, the only thing that I have hired out was my original logo, and we've talked about that in the past. Fiverr, I literally
good story.
I literally dropped a Fiverr to get my logo. Like it was $5 for my logo, and it was a hassle to get, but it came.
That should be the one I have here on my screen. If you guys are on my Twitch right now, the little super dad with the kids on his shoulders.
Yeah, so it came, it happened, right? And that is the only piece of digital content that I have had to pay for. Right, everything else has been
scenes,
overlays, all that kind of stuff has been designed. Yes, it's been all designed, created, whatever. And I've pulled pieces from other individuals, or where people post like a free widget, right, or something like that, and I'll grab that, modify it to fit my code or something like that, right, and just kind of made things kind of go aligned and kind of work together.
Nice.
For those that are interested, a really great resource for digital, for like graphics design stuff, and they have a huge free stock library, is canva.com. So if you guys have seen like if you guys have seen the What the Wednesday, like on the actual, on my overlay right now on YouTube, right?
CANVA?
Yes, Canva. Yes. My overlay on YouTube, right, where it says like new weekly episodes and it has the background behind our cameras and has the microphone in the circle in the middle and stuff. I used Canva to design all that. It's, you just set your image size. It's all drag and drop. You can cut and crop and all kinds of stuff. It's all free. And it's all free. I mean, you can pay to get more images, right? You can get like there's premium images, but the stock library is huge. There's so much stuff you can do out of it. So I use that for most of my graphics that I don't need something really specific. Like if I'm trying to just generate something and I have an idea, I'll use Canva to draw it out or design it out. And then if I need to tweak it, I'll actually just download it, throw it in Inkscape or GIMP, and modify it that way. But it's really simple. I do love their font library and how easy it is to do like shadows on fonts and things like that. Canva does that really well, and you can kind of adjust things really easy. It's all built into the UI and stuff.
You've never dabbled in Photoshop and stuff like that, huh?
I have.
That's like, to me, that's what I always think of for any type of shadows, drops, outlines, strokes, all that kind of stuff. That's all Photoshop for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it in Inkscape. I can do it in Inkscape now. Inkscape is the Photoshop, right? Well, so Photoshop is PSDs, right? And then what's the vector? So Photoshop's like GIMP, and then it's not front page. What's front page? Microsoft front page. Wow, I'm aging myself. After Effects.
Yeah, I don't know what you're reading.
No, it's not After Effects.
Oh, Adobe?
Yeah, nice. It's an Adobe. It's an Adobe program. Oh man, but it's the equivalent. It's what does vector images for Adobe.
Like Illustrator?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Right? You have Photoshop for the PSDs.
Yeah. Illustrator's more vector stuff.
Right. So GIMP is the PNGs, and right. Inkscape is the vector images.
Software.
GIMP.
Yeah, I don't like it. It sounds like it's got a problem.
Yeah, I know. It's got something to do. It's like GNU. It's the GNU image manipulation program. So it's an acronym.
Okay,
but
so it's got gotcha. Yeah,
it's got some value to it.
Right. And then Wayne, to answer that question for myself, it's a solid mix. So I have, again, through Fiverr, I got an artist to do my logo. I got a separate artist to do my emotes. Again, for me, that was just, I was limited by my artistic ability. I had a real old janky frog that I originally drew myself in Illustrator. I'll post that in Discord sometime if you didn't exist back in the early Hopper days to see that little guy himself. He was I don't know, he was funny. It was the same style, headphones on a little frog head, just nowhere near the detail he has now. And again, I had an idea of what I wanted, but I just wasn't able to do it myself, so the Fiverr artists are good for that. Overlay and scenes and stuff like that, I did purchase an After Effects package and then fully customized it myself, because I know After Effects, not great. Again, I've just dabbled as somebody learning stuff on YouTube here and there. But mine, I think I got from Nerd or Die. It's the Glitch 2.0 package. But I fully customized colors, fonts, logos, kind of revamped the style of everything to make it my own. Because, again, I didn't want to look like I just had something that everybody else uses. And so, thankfully, I knew the software well enough to kind of manipulate it that way. My transition was another default After Effects, very basic thing that I then fleshed out and made it look cool for what I was looking for. So, it's a good mix of stuff, but really... for the most part, even anything besides the art that I outsourced, I was customizing myself. So, yeah.
And that was a question. That was a question from Ray.
Wayne Tango.
Wayne Tango. Yes.
One and only. But yeah, that's a good question, because it is always interesting to see and hear what kind of people are putting together. And
so I think
an amalgamation usually.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what you're looking for in an overlay, on how and obviously your technical experience, your skill set, right? On how much you want to invest in time for yourself or time for this sounds terrible, but Hopper's overlay to me is too much. I love it. Like
you're more simplistic style.
I love your overlay. I really do. Like, I think it works very well. I think it's clean. It's consistent across all your panels, right? Like, there's nothing about it. And again, if you bought a package and you've just modded the package, it's much easier to retain that consistency over time if you're just modding one scene at a time or something like that, and you have the original sources anyways. For myself, right? Like, I have a lot of filters and masks and alphas and other things like that where I've not necessarily taken a animation or a camera overlay or something like that and tried to keep it super simple, clean, really, 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 really basic in terms of like what's visible, right? Like you have the camera border. I personally don't like camera borders, so I don't run one, right? Like, it's one of those, like, again, I love yours. All your colors blend, everything like that. It's great.
Yeah, my big thing was really pushing a color scheme.
Right.
And I like the frame just because I feel like it helps separate. I don't know. I don't. For me, without it, it just looks like it bleeds. And
I already know you don't like my. I already know you don't like my vertical.
I don't like your horizontal one. Yeah, no,
horizontal.
I don't know why. It just messes with my head. You like huge labels on his labels on what? Just to.
Are you talking about my panels? My panels?
I don't know. Maybe your panels on a Switch page. I do want to do that. I like that you did. They're just JPEGs, PNGs.
Those are all PNGs.
All same size.
Yeah.
Same size.
Because
so it just looks cleaner.
So that was the that was the hugest thing for me, is I absolutely can't stand how terrible Twitch's panels are. And I really thought I really thought, yeah, and I really thought when we got the new front pages that they would fix that.
Right? Yeah.
I really thought we were going to be able to do that, and the panels they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. So I had to do something, and I was like, you know what? We're just going to do images that are all the same size across the board. And if I got to cut information and drop it in two of them, screw it, because I want to be able to resize it, and I want it to still be consistent. Because you were doing this like about me with text, and like it would fit on one screen, and then you would adjust the browser, and it would be this big, and then you'd have like something next to it, and there was no way to control it when it was text based. So I was like, screw it, we're going straight images, and we're doing it that way.
Yeah, no, that's not bad, especially if you have, set stuff that you're not changing a lot. It's real simple to. Am I remembering wrong? He had a logo bottom center.
Oh, he's talking about my ticker bar.
Okay, so that's what you meant by labels, like
my ticker bar. Yes.
Screen. Okay.
So my ticker bar is actually like a combination of like 4 different widgets all shoved into one thing. That was a little creative to do. But it's honestly, Wayne, I could probably, if you use Stream Elements or something like that, it's probably shareable. I know people share things across that, and then all you'd have to do is change your logo and it should fit for your channel. I would think. But I'm
always iffy on tickers myself, but because I think that, to me, like, I know you say like you don't like the webcam frame. Is it like because it catches eyes or whatever it may be? I think the ticker, I don't know. I feel like it pulls your eyes away from. I know it's recognition in a sense, but like I have one on my chatting screen. I don't have it on my game screen, I guess. I think when I'm gaming, I don't want it to pull away from my content.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah. And I actually have done that same kind of moral dilemma with myself, right? Like some days I'll turn it off, some days I'll turn it on.
You find yourself on it, yeah.
Like and I've kind of moved it around, and so on my newest scene that I was making that I showed you the other day, where I was considering like when I stream Genshin or I stream a less aggressive game, I actually put it outside of the game window, so it's not necessarily covering over the game. But like if I'm playing COD, it'll probably go off. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of figure out how to make that work, because I kind of agree. I did notice, and they get in the way, right? They get in the way of something on screen, right? It
right.
gets.
That's what my problem was when I played different games. It would block something, and I'd have to move it, and then this and that, and yeah.
Wayne Tango is using Gamecaster from that's from XSplit, right?
Oh, is that what XSplit Gamecaster?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's XSplit Gamecaster and there's XSplit Broadcaster. I believe that's who makes that.
Wayne, why the heck are you using Gamecaster? What the? Formerly XSplit. I guess so. XSplit has rebranded. I guess they split.
Oh, did they really?
Interesting. I've honestly, I know nothing about Gamecaster.
So Gamecaster is really, really easy to get started. Like, it's really, really easy. It's like point, click, go, right? They allow way less customization.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really simple. Like you can have a full overlay running and like click, 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 it's done. Like you literally and Gamecaster is really, really good for people who stream with one monitor, because you can see they have UIs and overlays built to go over top of your game that you can see that isn't necessarily on stream, kind of things like that, right? Yeah. So that way you can like see chat and things like that. You know, it's been a pretty good. It's been pretty good.
They just split yesterday from XSplit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which makes sense why on their like website, their like preview screen, I'm pretty sure I saw XSplit pop up somewhere in one of their videos. Probably just because they don't have their own full-blown content yet for showing off their software.
Probably.
That's funny.
In the little streaming made simple. In the little video, the Among Us video, not the Among Us, the Fall Guys video. All the logos there are still the XSplit logos in the video.
Yeah, you can see that one big pops up. It says XSplit on it. This has like a Discord vibe to it, this webpage. Like the little characters.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. Any reason, Wayne, why you chose that instead of the big OBS or Streamlabs? I guess if you used it before, or an ease thing. Not again. There's no wrong software to use. Don't get me like, don't let me necessarily try to say that. Obviously, it's all how you want to use it, and if it's perfect enough for you, just like how Q uses OBS and I use Streamlabs. Q doesn't like that Streamlabs is kind of like a package deal in a sense where it makes things simple. He likes to add on different stuff and things like that, and OBS is fantastic for that. I like the simple.
Tango, it was fast and I wanted to stream the same day. That's a perfect reason to use software like that, right? I mean, and it gets you out there. And here's what I would say. Wayne, like in that situation, like continue to use it. Like love it, grow with it, continue to use it, try to do the best you can with it. When you think that it becomes a limitation, right? Like when you think that like I want to do something that this software cannot do, then look into something else. But don't throw away, right? Don't throw anything away, right? Just keep going and keep working and try, other things all the time, right? That's what I did. I started on Streamlabs, and then I got to the point to where I wanted to do something that Streamlabs wouldn't let me do. And it was something very specific, very niche, and I was like, this is not a common thing. Streamlabs is never going to design an extension for this. So I went to OBS and I found somebody who did, right? And that's what it led to, right? It's not that one is better than the other, I don't think. A lot of people say OBS is way better, blah, blah, blah. I think they're full of malarkey, right? I think both of them work great.
More people use Streamlabs as far as percentages go.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I think more people in the streaming market, in the game streaming market, use Streamlabs. There are a lot of people in the like YouTube market. A lot of people in the YouTube market and like the professional I don't want to say professional recording, but like I would say like I don't know what that was.
You just die for a second. I thought you were about to start crying.
I like.
You good? Get a sip of water or something, man. Don't die on me, Q.
I want to say like this would be like live performance productions, right? Like churches, if they're trying to record their sermons, or if you're doing musical productions at a school or something like that, where they don't have this huge production budget, they're going to use OBS just to record their camera content, right? Like that's what they're going to use. Yeah. Right, because they already have a computer set up to do all of their switching and all that kind of stuff, so they'll just throw OBS in the background and record it, right? And that's kind of how they do that. But
yeah, I agree with that.
Doug said he hit the limitation like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
he hit the limitation when he went live. Is that what he's trying to say?
Point yet? Yeah, I haven't hit that point yet with Streamlabs. For the most part, again, I did a lot of customizing as far as getting my scenes and stuff the way I wanted. But I don't know. I like it. Just do what works for you, man.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong, Wayne.
And
again,
Wayne,
like you said, I guess it does make sense. If there's something you really have your heart set on, don't let the software limit you at that point. Find something that'll let you do what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing I would say is, if you need help,
work with a Stream Deck.
Just ask somebody. Right? Like, ask me, ask Hopper, ask anybody, right? Like, I literally play with my overlays probably every day, every other day, if not every day. I'm playing with my overlays, doing something, changing something, moving something.
Yeah.
And I would, I'm always willing to help if I'm available.
You'll go blind doing that. Hasn't happened yet. But yeah, no. And Discord communities are great too. All these softwares usually have their own branded Discords. There's always people willing to help. I know the Streamlabs has one. I'm sure OBS does as well. Those are always great resources. Not even necessarily has to be people that work for the company. You'll get a bunch of people that'll chime in like, oh, I had that problem. This is what I did. So everybody's out to help, which is good.
Yep.
That's what you like to see.
Yep. Any other questions out there right now?
Yeah. If not, this old guy's got to pee before we play some games. Drank this whole 40-ounce water bottle while I was sitting here. Woo! Why am I not going?
Oh, that is why I'm not going to stream till Saturday. I got it.
Gotcha.
He has to rework all of his overlays.
Yeah, no, I think when I decided to finally kind of narrow in on my brand, I think I sat down for 3 straight days after I gathered artwork from people and stuff, all that stuff finally came in and just chopped everything together and made sure scenes, sources, everything, it was there.
Yeah. And
honestly, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the crap out of it. So it's kind of sad I don't have to mess around with too much stuff anymore. Again, I'm not saying I want problems. So let me knock on wood since my webcam frame stopped working today. Already. But it's a fun project to work on. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, Wayne. It's like you're finding your identity,
That is a big point. Yeah. Finding your identity through your brand or through how you design yourself is a big thing. That's definitely right.
Because it is. It's who you are, and you can't go changing it every week. I feel like you do a disservice to the viewers, and it creates weird inconsistency. And so I was like, I gotta know what I want, get it set, and then it's like a hands off, its own living thing now. Oh, taco brand. I like tacos. Can't get wrong. Bro, you're not going to win. You're not going to win again. Shush. All right, if we got no more questions, we can call it there, Q. Right?
All right. Are we playing we going over to play Faz again?
Probably. I mean, unless you don't really want to. You sound super psyched about it right now.
I kind of do. That's why I played. Yeah. That's why I tried to play solo today.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the crap out of the game. It's a lot of fun. So
all right. Well, we will
perfect
sign out and then
we'll reconvene shortly. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
All right, you're going to the bathroom.
Yeah. Is that okay?
No.
You all right?
You're supposed to do that after I hit stop streaming. I'm just anyway.
Did you hit stop streaming already?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you mean to sign us out?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, as always, thank you so much for joining us here on What the Wednesday with myself, the Game Hopper, even though we didn't introduce ourselves earlier, and Q, the cool tech dad. Appreciate you hanging out. If you didn't get a chance to watch us live, please check us out on Anchor, Spotify, wherever else you can find things, or YouTube. If we're still posting on Anchor, or you are, right? Yeah. Yeah, pretend we are.
Sure.
If not, listen to our old stuff. It's also fantastic. We always have good things to say. We love you so much. Thank you for joining us. Have some good questions ready for next week. We'll see you then.
Ladies, one last thing. For those of you that are currently watching us on YouTube, I will be transitioning over to the Twitch side tonight. So get ready. I'm going to sign out here, and then within 5 minutes, it takes me just enough time just to click over, and then Hopper and I will be playing some games over there. So please feel free to come and join us, either watching myself or the Game Hopper as well. So with that, once again, thanks everybody. We will check you guys next week, same time. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. We're still on the fence about next week, but we will posting Discord, Twitter, all that kind of fun stuff. Yep. Thank you.